Hi everyone, my name is Heather and I'm the person behind Happy Puffy Truffles, and today I wanted to go ahead and show you guys another display origami that we put on a thing called a shikishi in Japan. Shikishi is a display board that you use for different projects, and this is the one I'm using here, and we're going to make a kotatsu, which is like a little table that has a heater underneath, a real low table, and we usually put blankets over it, and then that's where we stay to stay warm, and everybody's putting them out. I just spent a few weeks ago, cleaning all the blankets and getting everything set up so that it can be out and ready since the nights are getting a little chilly. And it's a much more energy efficient thing than having the heater on. It keeps you nice and warm. It's really comfortable. And the common thing to do when you sit there is to eat Mikan. And Mikan are tangerines, and they're out in season right now. And my kids and my family in general just love them so much that, I think everybody probably eats at least 4 or 5 a day. I'm not kidding. They eat a lot of tangerines. So, but hey, it's good for you. So, right? I don't know. Maybe not. But anyways, I'm going to make a little kind of kotatsu here. And then I was kind of had an idea in my head, and we'll see if it turns out or not. I wanted to try to create sort of a 3-dimensional little basket of Mikan that's on top. So it might look totally weird. We'll see how it turns out. But I've got my shikishi here, and what I've actually done is I put a layer of paper on it that's handmade paper that has these fibers and then this cute little bits of confetti in it. And I just thought that would be kind of a fun background for this scene. You can use any paper really, and sometimes you can find shikishi that already look like this. They already have the paper and the design already on them in the background, which works great too. So, but then I went ahead and made some little tiny balloons. Basically, they're just the balloons, but these are going to serve as my Mikan. And if you guys need to be review of how to make little tiny little balls of balloons like this, you guys can check out the link here. I'll have a link here so you can do that and make sure you know how to make them. Now, these little guys, I used a 6cm paper, and it can be a little tricky, obviously, like especially with the balloon type, because the folds aren't that hard maybe, but what can be tricky is when you try to blow air into it, because there's really no way that works very good. So if you're having trouble, take a little paper clip and just open up one of the edges, and because there's an opening here, you can pop open everything with this. You don't put too much pressure, you'll pop a hole through everything, but you can actually open things up, and then when you blow into it, it can fill up with air and kind of poof out to all the sides. I want things to look a little funky still here because I want to kind of have the impression that they're kind of, Mikan shaped. I don't know. But, so I've got those little guys, and I made 4 of them just to kind of see how this works. I don't know if it's going to turn out the way I have in my brain or not. I have some paper here that's going to serve as the blanket that you put on top of a futon, and I'm just going to have it kind of sitting here on the corner. This is just some traditional Origami paper that has a nice paper finish on the back and then a pattern on the front. And then I took some paper here, and this was actually a full-size piece of 15 by 15 centimeter paper, handmade paper. I thought this had a nice kind of cool tint to it to kind of look like wood that you'd see sometimes for the tops of the tables, for especially older kotatsu, is kind of this burnt color a little bit. And I just did a basic fold where I folded into the center and then folded into the center again, and then folded it in half. And the reason I did this is because I wanted to have this little place here where I could kind of slide things into the top. So you're basically looking at the kotatsu straight on, and I'm just going to kind of, so it looks like a lid to a jar almost. I'm going to first put these two together, and then I can put this all down here like so. And then I took some taunt paper, and I just kind of cut a half oval shape here, and then cut little fringe at about 1 centimeter intervals. It doesn't have to be a lot. And then I just kind of folded it back. And what I'm going to try to do is kind of glue all this down onto the background and allow for a little pouch where I can stick the Mikan in. And we'll see if it works, right? I don't know if it's going to. But that's the plan, and we'll have that like right here to kind of show the season. So the first thing we'll do is put together the kotatsu here, and I'll just put a little bit of glue right in the middle of all this, and then put this inside of it. So I'll get the glue going here. Make sure that's nice and solid. So that's sort of the edge of everything. And then I'm going to put a bunch of glue on all of this on the back so that I can sit it down where I need it to be. So I've got kind of that little kotatsu now on the side. And then I can take everything here and try to put, then I've got the little kind of basket that I have here, and ideally I want to kind of have it just resting right on top of things, and I kind of then want to just let everything glue down and then hopefully allow for enough of a poof in the middle here to allow my Mikan to sit inside. So let's see here. I don't want it to sit right on top. Maybe I'll just try to get it to be just a tiny bit on top of it. So the main thing we need to do is put glue just on the fringe area here. Don't want any on the actual inside of the basket here. And before it dries too much, you can kind of pull one of the sides in just a little bit so that it poofs up just a bit from where it was supposed to be. So when you're finished, you should have something kind of like this. It might be a little tricky to do, but and then I'm just going to put a few of these Mikan in here, and I don't know, there might be only room for like 3 of them, it looks like maybe, but I'll try to get these poofed out enough a little and then put them in there. So that kind of gives you guys the finished feel for things. Like I said, you know, you could make this just a 2-dimensional piece if you wanted to, and just make your bowl flat and just cut out some circles for your Mikan if you prefer. I just thought I'd try something a little different this time. So, but that kind of gives you guys your finished little piece here with some Mikan on a table. Thank you guys always so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.